This is the Norris Group's Real Estate Investor Radio Show, the award-winning show dedicated to thought leaders shaping the real estate industry and local experts revealing their insider tips to succeed in an ever-changing real estate market. Hosted by author, investor, and hard money lender, Bruce Norris.
All right, welcome everybody to the Norris Group Real Estate Radio Show and Podcast. This is Joey Romero. But before we get to our special guest, I want to make a quick announcement. Today we are going to launch our I Survived Real Estate series. Yes, we are back live once again on October 28th at the Nixon Library. Hopefully we'll see you all there. It's going to be another great event, and I can't believe it's been 3 years since we've done this event live. I want to start out by saying that in this series, we're going to be interviewing some of our past RONI Award winners. But this week, we're going to start out with President and CEO of Make-A-Wish OC and IE. But first, I want to start by thanking our platinum sponsors, Dan Reddick over at the SDCIA, Karin Hall at UDirect IRA, Buddy and Kimberly Rushing at White Feather Investments, Mark Laditour at The Collective Genius, and Linda Pliagas at Realty 411 Magazine. This week, we have a very special guest. We have some tremendous partners with St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, but the main benefactor of our I Survive Real Estate is Make-A-Wish. And today we are joined by, like I mentioned earlier, Gloria Crockett. And she has more than 25 years of management and leadership experience in both local and national level with the nonprofit arena. Currently, she is the president and CEO of Make-A-Wish Orange County and the Inland Empire, an organization that grants wishes to children battling critical illnesses. Gloria has gained extensive experience in working with community and corporate leaders, volunteers, major gift donors, and leading high-performance teams of staff and volunteers. Previously, she was the development officer for Second Harvest Food Bank of Orange County, and formerly served as the interim executive director for development and senior director of development for cancer programs of the UCI School of Medicine. In this role, she led a team of 7 and was responsible for $10 million in fundraising annually. Prior to the University of California at Irvine, Gloria spent 17 years in advanced roles with the American Cancer Society, culminating in the state senior vice president for Maryland, managing a team of 45 and raising over $7 million annually. In this role, she led the society's community and volunteerism efforts and guided staff and volunteers daily in support of the society's goals and mission. Gloria was successful in providing strategic leadership and direction, which advanced a diverse portfolio of bottom line objectives. Gloria holds a bachelor's degree in public relations from Cal Poly Pomona and currently resides in Orange County with her family. So welcome to our show, Gloria. So happy to have you on today.
Oh, thank you so much, Joey. I appreciate you inviting me to join you and tell a little bit about our partnership and all the wonderful things that you guys are doing.
Can you start out by just telling us a little bit about your role as president and CEO?
Yes. So as president and CEO of Make-A-Wish Orange County and the Inland Empire, my responsibility is to provide a vision and strategic direction to our staff team, our volunteers, and all of our community partners. And so what does that look like? We've got 4 buckets that we look at for our strategic planning. One is grant more wishes. One is to increase our revenue. One is to inspire our people. And then the final one is to enhance our capabilities. So I lead a wonderful team of staff and volunteers to help accomplish our mission at Make-A-Wish.
And so is this something that you always knew that you wanted to do growing up, or when did that bug hit you?
Well, actually, I always was a volunteer. I volunteered constantly when I was a child. When I was a young teen, I would always volunteer at food banks, and picking up trash on the beach was a big one for me. And as a young woman, I joined my first not-for-profit club, which was called the Venture Club. And that was a group of young women that gave back to organizations by fundraising, volunteering our time. And as I was doing that, because I was actually studying to be a broadcast journalist, unfortunately, my father became ill and passed away. And so I told my mom, in the next 5 years, I'm going to start working for the American Cancer Society. And so that was a complete shift. And I've had this 25 years of giving back to the community. and it's just been absolutely wonderful. So I've truly enjoyed it. And I continue that journey with my kids. I'm a bonus mom to 2 boys from my husband's previous marriage. And then I have a daughter, Sydney, and she and I as well have done and continue to do lots of volunteering. And we're even part of National Charity League, in which we volunteered every single weekend at a variety of nonprofits to help the community.
That's one of the reasons I ended up here at the Norris Group is my friendship developed with Aaron from all the volunteer things that we were doing in the community. In a previous show, we discussed with our good friend Brent Lee all the things that we were just kind of at and volunteering, and it's like, oh, you're there, okay. And then eventually it led to Aaron asking me to actually help with some of the things that he was leading, and that's how our relationship and friendship really grew. And I'm a little familiar with with the food bank. I actually ran a nonprofit program for Family Service Association called Mobile Fresh.
Okay.
And what we did is we had an RTA bus that was donated from Riverside Transit Authority, and we gutted it and we turned it into a mobile grocery store.
Wow.
And so we were going to food deserts and providing, fruits and vegetables to low-income communities and providing them at a very, very low cost. And so when I took over, the program had, 10 stops. By the time I left and came over to the Norris Group, we had 2 buses and we were running 80 stops in both Riverside and San Bernardino County. So it was, I was more than familiar with the nonprofit world. It's tough, but it's really fulfilling, and you can really impact the community that way.
Oh, for sure. I think that what people, being able to help others is so rewarding, and being able to see that we've made something easier or provided hope and joy is just so key in whatever you do, from a food bank to, providing clothing for a family, providing guidance and helping writing resumes. We've all done different things. And, it's so important to be able to say, I've experienced something different, and, I want to be able to give back to those that I can help in any way possible. And I think it's important to teach our youth that. And you mentioned Aaron, and that's how you guys met. You really connected there. You do connect with like-minded people when you're doing different volunteer activities. And it's not because you have to, it's because you want to. And I think that's really, really important.
Absolutely. And it's funny that you said that showing young people is, you obviously had a very strong pull on why you wanted to, spend your time with Cancer Society. For me, it was just, I wanted to show my kids that giving back is the right thing to do. I didn't want to wait till, something tragic happened in my life, or, I went through anything to be able to show them that, hey, it is important to us as a family to give back. And so, all those years that I spent time with the PIT group, the Young Professionals of Riverside, we would always, have all these volunteer events. And I would just tell them, I said, you guys got me during the week, but the weekend, that's for my family. And if it's something that was involved with the weekend, then it had to be something that my family could be involved with. And so that's how I engaged them with everything that we did. Now, you Cal Poly, and then you went across the country. Are you originally from California?
No, I actually was born in Cincinnati, Ohio. And when I was 10, my parents decided they wanted to, they had decided way before that they were moving to California, because we came for a visit in 1973. And at that time they said we were going. And then in 79, we actually took the trek across the nation from the Midwest, and ended up initially in Pasadena, and then ultimately in Covina Hills.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I almost played baseball for Cal Poly Pomona. I played at Rio Hondo Junior College and ended up going to Dominguez Hills, but that's another story for another time. Now, how does Make-A-Wish IE&OC, is it pretty aligned with national as far as the goals and objectives, or do you guys have some autonomy?
Yes, no. So we have autonomy in the way that there are 58 chapters for Make-A-Wish across the nation. We're all our own 501c3. We have a governing board, and that has fiduciary responsibilities to ensure that we're running properly and on target with all of our policies and procedures. Where we are in likeness is that we have the 4 pillars that I mentioned to grant more wishes, increase our revenue, and inspire our people, and enhance our capabilities. And then what happens is Make-A-Wish America is a resource to the chapters throughout the nation by maybe streamlining certain things, toolkits, letters, mailings that go out to help us ease the burden on the local chapters, because all of the money that we raise stays right here in our local chapter area, which is Orange, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties. And what's important about that is, a lot of times some people think that wishes are free, and average cost of a wish pre-pandemic was $9,500. And right now we're at about 5,000, but that's because we had to do some different things during the pandemic. We had to put some things on hold, but not to hold the wish, but to maybe reimagine the wish so the wishes could happen during the child's treatment, because 90% of parents, through a recent impact study that we did, 90% of the parents said that having a wish helped their child be more positive, have hope, and then help the entire family get through a very difficult situation of a critical illness. Because, it's that, how I describe it is, it's part of the treatment plan. We get them through that difficult part, and they get to have this wish that they've been thinking about. And then they're like, wow, I got through that. And then 73% of our kids live healthy adult lives. And that's where we want to get them.
As a parent speaking, the wish has to mean that much more to parents, right?
Yes, for sure. I'm going to tell you a story about a gentleman that I met when I was at a Make-A-Wish CEO conference back in March. His name is Darren, and I was in the hotel lobby, and I had my Make-A-Wish pin on and a badge. He said, "Do you work for Make-A-Wish?" I said, "I do." He goes, "Oh," I said, "We're having a conference here." He goes, "Oh, that's amazing. What do you do?" I said, I'm the president and CEO. He says, "I have to tell you something." And I said, "What's that?" He says, "My son had a wish, and I want you to know that he needed a stem cell transplant, and he didn't want to have it. He was saying that he wasn't going to have it. And when he was told he was going to have a wish, he was kind of like, okay. Well, he went on the wish. They as a family, went to Hawaii. When they came back, he said, it was like he had an S on his chest for Superman. He's like, "Dad, I've got this. Mom, I'm going to beat this." And he had his stem cell transplant, and he's just doing wonderful. I mean, it gives me goosebumps thinking about it again. But, to hear that story and have that dad share with me how impactful it was is really a testament to what a wish really does.
Yeah, I can imagine how, just from the stuff that we've gone through and everybody reaching out and just, talking about how special a person Aaron was. And I can imagine how beautiful it is for you to receive those messages, and, how tough it could be at the same time, because you're reminded of everybody that's going through something like this.
Yes, for sure. We have to, compassion, fatigue can be, a difficult thing. And we have to, have that celebration and that smile when we can. And it's when you see the wish child and you're like, oh my gosh, and that smile, that grin from ear to ear. It's amazing what a wish does. And, it's the child's wish. We think about through the pandemic, we had room redos, we had gaming systems, we had backyard swing sets, we had kittens, we had puppies, we had a bird, lots of birds, surprisingly, cockatoo. And but these are the things these kids want. And there's even one young man that he wanted DJ equipment. And it's just quite amazing the creativity that these kids come up with.
How many wishes does Make-A-Wish overall grant per year? And how many do you guys at the local chapter?
Okay, so at the local chapter, we have granted over 7,689 is where we are right now.
Wow.
And that's since the start of our chapter. Now, pre-pandemic, we did about 360 a year. Last year we did 247. We just finished our fiscal year in August 31st, excuse me. And so what we're doing is we're emerging, because as you can imagine, it was hard to do wishes during COVID. We couldn't do travel wishes or large gathering wishes because our kiddos are so sick. And we didn't want to do a wish that would cause them to be, become even more ill.
Sure.
And so we did different types of wishes. We adapted. And the lowest amount of wishes we did in a full year of COVID was 165. And but now we're coming back strong. Travel is starting to open up, and wish kids are really, going on those wishes that they've been thinking about.
Is there like a menu or do you just say, hey, what do you want to do?
Well, that's a great question. So I've gone through a wish granter training. And so we have several volunteers that are wish granters. And so what they do is they go and meet with the wish kids. It was virtually during COVID, and said, hey, I'm just going to talk a little bit about you and what you're all about. What are some of the things you like to do? You like to go-kart racing. You don't give them suggestions, you just listen, but you ask them, what are your favorite colors? What are your favorite hobbies? What are your favorite things that you do on the weekend? And then as you start to gather this information, then you ask them, so what is your wish? If you had one thing that you could wish for, what would that be? And then that's when they tell us. And we usually get two different types of wishes, because some wishes may be, something that we just can't do. And so we have those two, and then we go from there and we start to plan the wish.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is like, has there been one that is just like, sorry, we're not buying you a Lambo, kid?
Exactly.
Stuff like that. Like, what is the limitation of your guys' wishes?
Yeah. So there are 5 types of wishes. I wish to go, I wish to meet, I wish to have, I wish to be, and I wish to give. And those different types of wishes, most oftentimes, there's no cars being purchased. There's no, I'm going to take my whole family to another country. It all has to be within reason. So we have certain guidelines that we're able to do or not do. And, we also think about the safety, of our kids. If there's a child that wants to go parachuting, we think, oh, okay, let's think about that. And we have to get a lot of things cleared by their physicians, and that one's usually not one that they're going to get cleared.
Sure. Now I'm gonna say I'm gonna tell you a person's name, and then I'm gonna ask you a follow-up question. I just saw something about John Cena. About how he's just a prolific, wish granter. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes. So he is one of our, if not the largest, wish granter for Make-A-Wish nationwide, as well as in other countries, for wishes that kids want to meet him and engage with him. And what's so wonderful about him is that he loves it. He loves every single wish he can do. He wishes he could even do more. And when a child is able to meet someone that they look up to, like him, they're just in awe. Their eyes are, wide open, their jaw drops, and they're just like, pinch me, is this real? And for an individual like him to be able to say this is important to him, it goes back to that volunteer part that we were talking about earlier, that giving back is important, and how that fills you with joy and fills up your cup is so important. And you can see that definitely fills up his cup. And he's taking something that he's been blessed with in his career to be able to, pay it forward by being a celebrity that gets lots of wishes.
Who has been your favorite celebrity or person that you've met through these wishes?
Oh my gosh. So I have not been able to meet any yet, because I have been on board for 3 years in my role. I just celebrated 3 years. So 6 months before COVID hit. But I would say I've got a couple of favorite wishes that I'll share with you. One of them is my first wish that I was ever able to experience. And that was Abdul's wish. Abdul wished to be a police officer. And we partnered with the Anaheim Police Department, the Anaheim Ducks, the Knott's Berry Farm, the Los Angeles Angels, to create this experience for him that they went to pick him up in the morning. He got to the police station. He had a little uniform on and a badge, and they swore him in as an official police officer. And then he went to catch the Toon Bandits. But what happened was, yeah, isn't that great? The Toon Bandits. We went to Knott's Berry Farm. They did some, stunts and things. And then they went to Angel Stadium, and there was a helicopter telling him where the Toon Bandit was, running around the bases. Then he got on the Zamboni at the Ducks Arena,
The pond.
and all of those things. And my favorite part of this wish was a photo that someone took when he was on his way back to the police station for the final festivities. The picture was just him slunched over to his side, knocked out,
Just worn out.
He was just worn out, and it was so beautiful just to see, wow, he was able to experience that. And I'll tell you about another wish that's pretty near and dear to me. There was a young lady out in San Bernardino that wanted to provide toiletries and food to the homeless. So her wish was to give. And so we partnered with a pantry out there, and we collected items and purchased items and worked with the local food bank. And she was able to prepare care packages for the homeless. And, some of these kids, they give back to their treatment centers. They give back to their schools. So it's there's such a variety of wishes that are taking place.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So you talked about how wishes were affected during the pandemic. How was donations affected by the pandemic?
Yes. So our donations cut in half during the pandemic. And we went from, when I first got here, we were about 28 staff. And during the pandemic, for a variety of reasons, we got down to 15. And, the thing of it is we just kept granting wishes. That was what was important. But it was really, really hard to tell the story of why a wish is so important, with something so incredibly impactful to the entire world was happening around us. So we had to utilize resources and relationships with individuals that have been long-term partners to help us grant those wishes that we did grant during COVID. And now what we're doing is we have 528 wishes that are waiting. So we don't want wishes waiting, for sure. And so what we're trying to do, or what we continue to do, is build an emergence plan. What is that plan that we're going to continue to increase our revenue to allow us to increase our number of wishes?
Yeah, I know that that was really important for Aaron and Bruce, and for the Norris group in general, to, not, put a pause on our event. We still
Yes.
found a way to do it and still raise money and still be, have a chance to give back. Have you guys chosen the wish for this year's I Survive Real Estate?
Yes, we actually have. I don't know if you want me to go ahead and
Sure.
roll and share with you.
Yes, please.
So we have chosen the wish, and this wish is very, very special. And I'll be able to share some actual clips at the event if time permits. But this is Liberty's wish. Liberty's wish was to have an adaptable swing at a park in La Quinta. And what this is this is a swing that she has epilepsy. And so the fear would be, if she's on a regular swing, that she would possibly have a seizure and there would be difficulties. So this is a swing that actually harnesses her in, and if there's any problem, she won't cause harm to herself. So we worked with the city of La Quinta, and we installed this swing last month. And what's even, the pay it forward is that not only can Liberty use this swing at the park, but anybody else that needs that type of adaptable swing can be used there as well. And so it's just remarkable. And I'm happy to share with you that Liberty's wish is going to be the wish that is adopted by I Survive Real Estate.
That's amazing. It's really cool to walk around our office and see all the plaques, just all over the halls. It's really cool. Before we wrap up, can you just share, what's new and exciting about anything that you guys are doing? How can we help you guys out?
Yeah, what's new and exciting is we're building back our team. We're up to 23 staff now because we have to focus on those wishes. We're excited to have closed last fiscal year with an unaudited number of 247 wishes, which is like, woohoo! It was 48 over our goal, what we had goaled for. And so right now we're just trying to position ourselves financially to continue to grant as many wishes as possible to bring down that pipeline. And then also look at how are we going to continue to emerge with travel. Travel just started up in June for Wish Kids again. So continuing that journey of increasing our number of Disneyland wishes that are happening. But what's important to me right now is to say, there's a huge need when we think about that fundraising. We need as many funds as possible. And I have to say a huge thank you to I Survived Real Estate for all that you guys do to help us move forward wishes and help us grant even more. We've got to spread the word. We've got to talk about wishes and how important they are to the community, how that changes a child's life, a family's life. Think about a family that has that much stress from a child that is going through a very, very difficult time. And to have a wish and for that family to experience that joy together, it's huge. When a family sees the smile on the face of their child, any parent is going to be like, that's priceless. And we need everyone to know we need you. We need you now more than ever to help us emerge from the pandemic so we can get the wishes that are waiting granted and we can continue our journey to, have those smiles brought to so many faces.
So the more, you heard it, people, the more people we get at the Nixon Library, the more wishes we can grant. So let's fill it up. Let's sell it out as soon as possible and do everything we can to help them out. Gloria, I really look forward to seeing you again in person. Are you gonna be flying solo, or is my buddy gonna come along with you?
We're still to be determined. He's got a baby on the way.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, I look forward to seeing you and hopefully Mark.
I thought you were talking about Mark before. You're talking about my husband.
I'm talking about you.
Sorry about that. You're like, he has a baby on the way.
That's what it threw me off. I was like,
yeah. No, my husband will be traveling.
Okay. I was like, well, maybe he's talking about, somebody like a grandchild or something. I don't know. It did throw me off. Did you see my face?
Sorry about that.
Well, if hopefully Mark can make it too, but if he doesn't, at least we'll at least have you there. But so thank you for being on with us and sharing, everything that, Make-A-Wish OC&IE is doing. Is it okay if I say it OC&IE, or do you guys?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's a long name.
Yes. And so we'll look forward to seeing everybody again on October 28th at the Nixon Library. So if you don't have a ticket yet, please reach out. You can email me or Joey at the Norris Group, or call at the office at any time, and we'll get you set up. So thank you so much, Gloria. We'll see you. If you need anything, just holler at us.
Oh, thank you so much. And you have a wonderful day, and a huge thank you to all of the individuals that support your efforts. It means a lot. And your vision that's being carried out, Aaron's vision that's being carried out through you and Bruce are just such important people to Make-A-Wish. So thank you.
You're welcome. All right, we'll see you.
Okay.
For more information on hard money loans and upcoming events with the Norris Group, check out thenorrisgroup.com. For information on passive investing with trust deeds, visit tngtrustdeeds.com.
The Norris Group originates and services loans in California and Florida under California DRE License 012-19911, Florida Mortgage Lender License 1577, and NMLS License 1623669. For more information on hard money lending, go to thenorrisgroup.com and click the Hard Money tab.